from the greatest sports that I played today are football. And this is something that the vast majority of the Muslims, they watch. Now, football as a sport in and of itself, is it halal or haram? It's halal. It's not a sport which is haram. The sport in and of itself. If you were to play football, someone cannot say you're doing haram unless there's an external factor that makes it haram. So maybe your awrah is not covered. Watching football, is it halal or haram? The general default position is halal, and two external factors may make it haram. But a general default position is halal. Now, supporting a team, having their names on your shirt, is this halal or is this haram? This is where the problems start to arise when it comes to football. If a person, for example, he wanted to enjoy this and watch it, and it wasn't going to distract him from his ibadah, then the default position is halal until you can prove it to be haram. Correct? Because the sport in and of itself is halal. You may have the issue of the awrah, is the awrah covered or not? What is the awrah, what is not the awrah? There's discussions amongst the ulama. But the general principle is halal until you can prove it to be haram. When a person now, he supports a team, this now goes into a type of hizbiyah that Sharia of Allah Jalla wa Ala has prohibited. To have an inclination towards a team, you want them to do well, there's nothing wrong with it. But now, to have enmity between one another, to slander one another, to look down at one another because of this becomes a form of jahiliyyah now. My team is like this, and your team is like this, and you have this player, and my team is this player, and I have the goat, and you have the sheep, and whatever you have. Like, all of this is a form of hizbiyah, a hizbiyah that the Sharia has prohibited. That the Prophet ﷺ has used harsh words against nationalism and qawmiyah. He's used harsh words against this, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So when it comes to this stage, then the prohibition starts to arise. When it becomes to a stage now where Muslims, they are speaking highly of non-Muslims and giving them that support for them as a person that they are because of the skill that they have in football, it becomes even more problematic. And one of the things that we found, which is a ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is during this World Cup, we have seen so many things being exposed. And the World Cup in itself is problematic as well. But aside from the hukum of the World Cup itself, of Qatar spending the hundreds and billions that they did, and the free mixing and the haram that take place, put all of that to the side for now. One thing became extremely clear in this World Cup, and that is how the disbelievers despise Islam and how they hate Islam. And every single Muslim has witnessed this. You can have the footballers of your team and your nations, and the best of them. But what was their united message at the beginning of the World Cup? We are going to do whatever we can to show our support for homosexuality. We know it's illegal in this country, as it is in many other countries. But let's forget about all of the countries that are participating in the World Cup, and their countries have banned this and have not allowed this type of marriage or practice in their countries. Let's forget about all of them, and let's focus on Qatar because it's a Muslim country. And let us speak about pushing our values. Bending backwards to push their values because they know it's a value against Islam. And the slanders against the country, it's not a country that even rules by Sharia, by complete Sharia. But let us slander them because they are a Muslim country. And their people have some values that they are holding on to. And the footballers would take a stance that they would wear these armbands that they would have and do whatever they can to try and promote this. Then they were banned from this. So the German national team covered their mouth to try and make a statement. Their leader was wearing an armband as well to show support. Do whatever they can to promote this. Why has this become everything now? It's not about this particular ruling. They don't care about this. It's about the fact that it goes against our principles. And our deen is the only deen that is standing firm on its values. Go to Christianity, they will legalize everything. Go to Judaism, they have legalized everything. Go to the other religions, they have legalized, and they have no grounds, they have no foot to stand on because they have allowed everything in their religion. But the only deen that has held on to its values is Al-Islam. So they need to crumble Al-Islam. And they know that if this can enter the Muslim lands and become legal in the Muslim lands, then every fasad will open in the Muslim lands. So those footballers now, that some of the brothers have no shame and they have no, they don't mind having it on their shirt. They don't mind calling out their names and showing their support for them. When they will openly go against our deen and openly criticize our principles and our values, it should show us. Where is our al-wala wal-bara? Where is the red line? Who are we allowed to support? And who are we not allowed to support? Whose name are we allowed to call out? Imagine having a name of a disbeliever on your garment. You're wearing it not because it's the name of a brand. Because the name of a brand is not to actually attribute itself to the individual itself. But to have someone's name on your shirt who is someone that Allah Jalla wa Ala hates. And you have put this name on your shirt in support for the person, even though it's in football only, is someone that Allah Jalla wa Ala hates. Is it befitting for a Muslim to do this? Yes, it's a sensitive topic because many people get offended when you speak about these matters. But it's the reality, it has to be spoken about. Not to say again, I'm not saying the general default position of watching football is halal. That's the default position. And two external factors can make it haram. But remember the words of Allah Jalla wa Ala and the words of the Prophet ﷺ, and putting them before everything else. And if you are watching the World Cup, or you have an allegiance to a particular team or some inclination towards a particular team, know the boundaries of the Sharia of what is halal and what is haram. Know the boundaries of the Sharia.